You like a bunny? Yeah, turn it off. And welcome back to Season 2, Episode 7 of the Dispensary
Episode
Live.
7 of Season 2?
Well, it's Episode 7. It's still Season 2, but it's our 7th episode.
But you start over every episode in the season. Whatever.
No, you don't.
Whatever.
So welcome to Season 2.
Yeah, right. Of course, we're going to have some banter this year. Hopefully, we get past some technical difficulties, but this is still Episode 7. We have to label them because we can't do Episode 1 again.
Season 2, Episode 1.
There you go.
I'm not digging it. But welcome back. Where have we been? We've actually had a lot of fun stuff going on.
Where haven't we been?
That's true. Well, we are now operating in 4 states.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is a lot of fun. Tomorrow, twas the night before 420.
Happy
You've got your
419,
cookies and
happy
milk
420.
for Snoop.
Yes.
Right? Cookies and milk for Snoop.
Happy 420 tomorrow. That's awesome.
420 is huge. We know we've got all of our stores are set up and ready to rock for 420.
Saw a bunch of pictures out of Sheboygan. Shout out today. They did some good stuff with their.
Something about getting lit or something.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Middleton's. I know Middleton, Wisconsin has something big going on.
Oh yeah, shout out to Middleton. I got nice little pretty things.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They have a paint event going on tomorrow evening. We'll be there. Rev Studios doing some live painting at Middleton.
Greensboro, North Carolina, grand opening tomorrow.
Yeah, new
Homestead,
state.
Pennsylvania, grand opening tomorrow. So we've got 2 stores. That's fantastic on a grand opening platform. We were on the Locker Room Live. We've got the Mile of Music coming up.
Yep.
We've been dealing with a ton of legal. We're going to get into that and call out a few politicians on their BS. We
got Bratfest.
Oh, we had Broadfest.
Down in the Madison area. Yep.
Mhm.
We've been at numerous states building stores.
Lots of
We've
building.
been around
building.
That we didn't plan on.
Yep.
Okay,
So
we
the
live.
stores are there.
But other things that have happened a lot. We've watched a lot of legislation change. During this episode, you're going to see us talk about We Told You So. We basically said, don't mess with it. It's bad. And the DEA has come back and made some stuff illegal. We've had other big things come out. Hemp-derived Delta-9. You'll see that we fielded that. We've got a whole new product line. Brandon and Nikki will talk a little bit more about that. But we do have a foundation of what we'd like to cover today. It's going to be the Farm Bill. We're going to talk a little bit of politics. I like to call it politics. We've got THC and the synthetic parts of THC, which, of course, we don't condone. And then we're going to talk about hemp-derived. And then, of course, we've got Ashdog on Weeducation.
Weedology. It's actually been changed.
Weedology,
Yes, because Weeducate is now our.
Yeah, Weeducate.
We had to take
motto.
Weeducate. It's like a company policy we had to stand behind. So
We do. We still stand behind weed responsibly.
Yes.
So that's always imperative. And Brandon, you've got some notes on here. You want to give a mention to some giveaways and some things of that right here?
Yeah, anything we got, leave a comment, like it, anything, share. We'll find you, put you in a little randomizer, and try to get you some free merch. Anybody that's tuning in can do that. So,
and something I just got blessed off by with Nikki, I wanted to throw out. If you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to us, and then well, you don't even have to necessarily like us.
Well, we prefer it if you like our
Right,
podcast.
you prefer if you like it, but at least subscribe. Then go into whichever dispensary you go into and show them that you subscribed and you like the YouTube channel, and they will give you an additional 5% off till the next episode. So, of course, once this episode is, how would I phrase that? The next one. Yeah.
Till the next episode.
Till the next episode.
There'll be
I know
some rules.
I was trying not to do doctors right because that's what was going through my head. I was like, all right.
It's the night before 420. It's good.
It was the night before 420.
Yeah, that's good. Perfect.
But we're going to bust right in, and we're going to get into Farm Bill discussion and politics right away.
Mm-hmm.
The current state in the cannabis industry, what's changed? Where to start? A lot of legislation has changed in many different places. But I sort of have a bridge that I'd like to burn, especially in the state of Virginia. The state of Virginia, over the past 9 months, took away Delta-8, Delta-10, and THCP from many of its constituents. And that was written and discussed by patron and state senator Emmett Hanger and Governor Youngkin.
Yeah, they're very, very lacking on their knowledge all the way around. I mean, even one of Hanger's quotes references Ant's rum cake and why it's not intoxicating. He said it wasn't going to get you intoxicated because there was a whole lot of sugar, flour, and other stuff in there besides the rum. But that only proves that he doesn't even know anything about alcohol when it comes down to it. Because when you bake with alcohol, you cook out the intoxicants. It's not because there's additional ingredients.
But then as of the 12th of April, another bill, State Senate Bill 903, was passed. And what that is going to do is limit 2 milligrams of THC per package. And that 2 milligrams of THC, without even getting into it, even furthermore, what this will do is this will limit not only the hemp-derived, but even the cannabis industry and how they operate in the state of Virginia. Now, when we talk about that, this is why it really chaps my ass, right? We're going to promote people not being able to go into stores, buy product that's third-party tested, and even like us, I mean, we're vertically integrated. So we make everything in front of us, right? We know what is in these products. Now we have customers who are already in our stores crying, and I'm not kidding. Our bud tenders were just telling us about it.
Yep.
People are crying because they are going to have to try and find a street dealer or figure out where to get it. And the problem I really have with that is in 2021, 74.6% of Virginia's constituents overdose cases all contained fentanyl. Now, what's even crazier is between multiple states that we operate in, these overdoses also contain not only fentanyl, but tranquilizer products from elephant tranquilizer, horse tranquilizer, and Narcan does not reverse it. So the overdose and death rate is increasing, and yet they want to work on a bill that limits third-party tested products being sold in a retail store, which last year, just alone from our stores alone, brought over $200,000 in sales tax to the state. So Emmett Hanger, who didn't return my calls this last passing with the state Senate bill, it chaps my ass that they want to force their people. In 2021, they had more overdose deaths than gun crime and traffic accidents combined. Isn't that crazy? That's how many people overdosed in their state. And now we're sitting here and they're sitting back and they're trying to say, we're fixing a problem. What problem are they fixing?
Basically, it's for big cannabis is the only thing they're doing anything for, and for their own agenda. There's nothing that they're fixing, because I wouldn't want to go buy something off the street that I don't know what's in. I sure as heck wouldn't want my children or anybody else.
I happen to know just on at least aside of our end, that we can see that there are at that state alone over 1,000, I think, positive reviews that people use this product for a lot of different benefits, different reasons.
It'd be different, but they're dragging their feet on the recreational marijuana bill in Virginia too. So there's no leeway to even get anything at all. This was the interim to get us there.
And
so
I think additionally, we all know too, is like we're trying to work with them.
Right.
Like we want to know what to do.
we would like the market to be regulated in the state.
We want to see regulation all the way around,
Yeah.
because should this be sold in a gas station? Should
No.
this be accessible to children?
No.
Absolutely not. Should it have gummy bears and all sorts of kid designs?
No, should it be look
Absolutely
like
not.
Fruit Loops or whatever the kids might think is theirs to eat?
There's ways to restrict it and keep it safe where the state could have made money, and now they just want to shut it down. And I think this is a platform where we're not scared of whatever they have to bring now. I mean, they are trying to hurt their constituents and make and push and solicit a black market of illegal drugs again, which potentially could contain fentanyl. And they're not even looking at that.
That's just what I think is what happens when you do something like this. I'll bring this up. We can talk more about it later, but prohibition itself of something, any product like this never works. It actually raises crime. It raises bad things to happen because you can't go and properly purchase things like this. The whole idea of Prohibition, at least, was made to address that. That's what it's all about. It's like, that's exactly what happens. So
I mean, you think they'd learned this with alcohol prohibition back in the day.
exactly. That's where a lot of this comes from.
And the Cannabis Control Authority, they underfunded them. They even made, unfortunately, different departments in Virginia responsible for hemp-derived products all the way across the boards. They weren't ready for it. They just threw it at them because they were like, well, we want to restrict this. And it's been a political game of bullshit. And it's time right here on this platform, we cut through the tape and we say, Senator Hanger, I've sat in your office with you and you blew some sunshine up my ass. And Governor Youngkin, you haven't called me back. That's incredibly disappointing.
It's better. It's the people of Virginia said they wanted recreational marijuana too.
They voted. They
voted for it. And the state did nothing. Youngkins did nothing but shut the whole thing down back to a black market.
Zero structure.
No, it's, I don't know if it's a structure necessarily as it is. I get it. Like there's been this big nostalgia around what people call the devil's lettuce or THC or even the hemp derived thing, right? Like people are abusing it because people were making synthetics. They were selling stuff that was made synthetically. Okay. We didn't
get into
condone
that.
it.
Yeah, next. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be getting into that. But everything that we preached about, that we even tried to propose, where the state could have made millions of dollars off of licensing, not only does the state make money, then they get more sales revenue. And on top of that, there could be a safe quality product. We're not trying to sell this in every gas station. We card everybody who comes in our store.
We educate.
We educate.
Our entire platform, from all the law enforcement agencies to government agencies that we have worked with, they've been very, very pleased and are standing behind us in many different facets. So here we have politicians, the ones that are supposed to be providing guidance, direction, and understanding for the people who have to handle this out on the streets and be protecting their constituents, and they're not. Instead, they're throwing them to the wolves because of some bullshit policy that nobody really even has an answer to. I don't know. That's my big rant. I don't know. I just had to bring it up, cut through the bullshit of it.
We're doing current events.
Yeah, that's as current as it. I mean, that takes us into the Farm Bill of 2023. What are we going to see? Nikki, you've done a ton of research on the Farm Bill. What do you think is going to happen?
Supposedly they're opening up the doors for more hemp production, but it isn't clear if it's going to be continued to the hemp-derived products or not. I mean, as far as they are for industrial hemp and hemp fibers, I know that's going to continue to open, where they're setting on the hemp-derived THCs. It's still up in the air. There's some positive, some negative. You never know which way it's going to go yet.
It'll be a big thing in 23. Still up and coming. I don't know when.
It will make a big difference for what our customers, and I will use several that are using our products for medical purposes alone. But we have people in walkers, we have people in wheelchairs, we have people who come in and use this as a medical product because they like how our products work and different facets of our product, from the Delta 8 to the Delta 9 to the Delta 10 to the THCP. It has been noted across so many different standards, and you can look at our thousands of 5-star reviews. It's not like we put those 5-star reviews up there with the stories behind it.
Oh,
and if you are watching and you are from Virginia, please feel free to contact your governor's office,
Your senators, all the politicians in your area.
and let them know a storm is brewing, because we're not sitting back for this bullshit. We want to protect you as the constituents. We want to make a stand, and we want to make sure that products are available for you in a safe, direct manner.
Yes, for the customers. That's what I heard a lot about. A lot of feedback from customers and even staff. It's
The
like
whole foundation.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, the whole foundation
That's
of
why we're
Hemp for Heroes, which got us to this point, was to develop something safe that wasn't an opiate, not only for veterans, but for other people who wanted to use a product. The whole premise of it was having something safe, readily available, that you didn't have to buy off the streets. And here we are, full circle, 2 years after we're running and operating in the state with all sorts of bullshit just being dumped on top of us.
Yeah.
And it's, well, okay, go tell all the veterans that served your country, politicians, that they're not going to have any products and they have to go back to opiates or potential street valued stuff that has fentanyl in it. Nice job, politicians.
Yeah, an addicting thing is much better. So much better.
Yes,
Way more addictive. Again, great job. Nice tie.
Everyone knows I don't know much about the political game, but I totally agree. I stand behind that 100%.
Yeah.
It's tough to see. It's tough to watch it all go down, but we're not backing down. So
Yeah, absolutely not. But that's my big rant. If you guys don't have anything else,
no, we can go on.
after this next break, right now we're going to talk about our
We're going to have
advertisement.
advertisement from, Brandon, you want to lead in?
Esports.
Esports. Perfect. Go on.
Go on.
Every single ball.
Hitting triangle left, triangle right.
Who is that? That's
So welcome back. A little breakdown of esports. They're sponsoring the podcast tonight. It's something we started alongside with the Dispensary to help provide a safe place for customers and staff alike to have a place to utilize products safely, weed responsibly. So a little bit about esports. Check them out. They'll be posting a little bit in the future, and that's what it's all about.
Gamers love our product.
You go home, that's what it's all about. Go home and use
Yeah,
it safely. I don't know. I like to go home and chill. I used to game a little bit here with Will. I don't do a lot of it, but we're putting some structures, tournaments together, and it's a cool thing. So a lot of good feedback. Check us out.
I have not turned on an Xbox since we opened our first store.
I don't know if I know how to use an Xbox anymore.
You talking?
I made one child go help the other child because it's been too long since I had to set one up.
I'd like to see Nikki on the Xbox.
Oh, I'm good. The very first Xbox I owned was mine.
You just gotta turn it on.
All right, let's jump into number 2.
They have to download everything. There's no disc anymore, Brandon.
I know.
We're going to talk about we told you so.
Yes.
And I mean, I hate to be bold about it, but we told you so. THCO, HHC, synthetics, THCJD, all these made up different things that are out there that are not natural cannabinoids.
Which are truly synthetic, even though they try to lump Delta 8, Delta 10, THCP, and synthetic, though they're not. They do naturally occur in a plant.
I saw in something that hit the shelves as well as the website of multiple people. There's a big article going around right now that is very cleverly written that says Delta 8 THC dash O. I can't remember the exact
Dash O or whatever.
They said Delta 8 THC. How that? Yeah,
Is-
shit.
I don't know. I read it in another article here too, just recently.
And Delta 9. They said Delta 8
And-
THC, Delta 9 THC dash O
Yeah.
is now illegal.
So anyway,
Yeah.
this article is floating around. I seen it come hit the counter here at Green Bay West where we do this out at, and also on the website. But people were very confused by that article. It obviously splashed quite a ways, so we'll clear up the THCO compound of this whole
They're
thing.
saying Delta O 8. Delta
THC.
8 O. Yes.
Delta O.
Too many O's.
Right. That's why we stick to the 4.
It doesn't matter if it's 8, 9, 10.
Just the O part.
If it's O, it's a
It's
synthetic.
synthetic.
It's an
Synthetic.
acetate.
Yes.
And acetate, as you know, is not good for your lungs. It's not good for your
Used
system.
in heroin. We always said that
It
before.
is. It's like 3 steps away from making heroin, which
Yeah.
is absolutely terrible.
Yes.
So getting into that, though.
Unless you're in Virginia. No.
Unless you're in Virginia. But let's chat about that. Even in Virginia, they said Delta 8 was synthetic. So we went through the process, quite a vetting process, and it took about a month and a half. And we proved our process of how we make our Delta 8 no different than how Delta 9 is made.
When it comes into an edible product or a smokable vape card, it's all made the same way.
And there are people who definitely go through an isomerization process where they'll actually turn it into a CBD isolate and take it from a CBD isolate. And there's a lot of science behind it. But the fact of the matter is Delta 8 naturally occurs. Does it take more flower for us to produce amounts of Delta 8? Absolutely. Delta 9 is a lot more relevant in all plants or cannabis that we utilize. So Delta 9 is much easier to make, right? But this whole, is Delta 8 synthetic? It can be made synthetically. You can make anything synthetically. We don't make ours synthetically.
Goes back to the quality of the product. What we produce here, what we sell here is not your average gas station. I'll say that.
Yeah,
It's not your gas station.
We know
You
where it
covered the
came
stuff.
from because we actually made it.
Yes.
Well, and as you look at our product line up here, I don't think we have any Delta 10 up here, but we've got
Oh,
Delta, 8.
right there.
Yeah, we got Delta 8. We've got Delta 9. It's a new little product line that we've got out.
We'll go
Prohibition.
more into that a little bit at the
we'll
next section.
But when we talk about that and saying that it's synthetic, why don't you want something synthetic? Because it's still made in a lab. Should be. Why don't you want a synthetic?
It's kind of one of those hard things because most of your pharmaceutical medications are synthetic, but the FDA is okay with that. I won't go down that aisle right now. So.
Well, of course, a lot of the things that we stand behind products like that, we want to, and for our customers, want to provide a natural alternative to medications that have addiction, anything like that, overdose issues. These products remain the same. We do hear people greening out. We wrote a blog about it, things that you can help do to stop that, but
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep, right? That'd be one of the main things. Just ride it out, you'll be okay. But this is a great alternative product, regardless of the 9, 10, 8, whatever RP to synthetics. So when you talk about synthetics and the addition to acetates and things like that, then it no longer becomes what we're here for, what we're about.
Synthetic is loosely defined. We've learned that as we've researched this whole process.
Synthetic is
too.
loosely defined, but here's the thing: is we are not here to just make a dollar, right? Like we're still a business; we have to make some money. That's a known fact. But we want customers to be able to come back, and we don't want our customers to be sick. And I've told this to many different people, even when we were working with ATF. We wanted to demonstrate very clearly that we want customers to be able to return and enjoy the product and find what their limits are and know how to use it for great benefits. And when you add synthetics to it, it's a huge spike difference in how it impacts you. And we have so many people that come in, they're like, well, I do this off the streets all the time. I can eat this. And then they green out. That's a problem. Or they've had these synthetics that have been cut with so many different type of shitty terpenes, or they're just...
Or they haven't made sure that there aren't any solvents left in the product or whatever else, because
Right.
it's not tested.
Right, because it's made cheaper in a garage, or who knows where it's made. But that said, we want you as customers to be able to come back. We want you healthy. We want you to be able to enjoy a product safely and playing esports.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly. I believe the ATF left with some nice compliments that day.
They did.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, they were quite impressed. They like the facility. They go around. They look at a lot of places like ours, or at least what they claim to be, and we don't do what they do. They said we're in the top, what do you say, 98% of places, whatever he's
Correct.
visited, and so I don't know where they all go, but that's a pretty nice compliment for ATF to walk in here and come and leave.
Even when we talk about compliments, we work. I won't use their name publicly yet, but they might be a guest on our show. But one of our third-party labs, which is out of state, had a chance to deal directly with one of their scientists, and they test over 700 different companies' products, and we're in the top 5. When I heard that, that was like this huge compliment. I called Nikki right away. I was all excited. I was like, "This guy said they test over 700 different companies, and we're like in the top 5."
Yes.
I was really geeked about that because
That's pretty
when
good.
you see those type of products, and the reason that all stemmed is because we only sent in for sampling a small sample rather than an entire package.
Yeah.
And when they set up their columns and set everything up, they set it based off only the set amount of samples rather than what a total package would be.
Yeah.
And it was really off for the numbers of what they expected.
Yep.
And they were like, these guys never are off like that. So that
Yeah.
facilitated a few phone calls, and next thing you know, we're talking, and we're like, oh no, that's not.
Oh, that got all worked out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that got
yeah.
worked out really quick.
Like everything else. Yeah.
Yes,
That worked out really quick.
Nice,
but
nice.
to know that you're in like top 5 of 700 different companies, it
Beautiful.
says something about us.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's
Yeah.
good.
We got good people doing good things.
Yeah.
And we're paying attention to it.
Well, that's what we're about.
And we're standing behind our quality.
Yeah. Well, all right. We're going to take a short break.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
Right?
we're
Yeah,
taking
okay.
a short
Okay.
break. It's a short
Okay,
break.
short
time.
break again.
And right
Okay.
after the short break, I believe this short break's also going to esports. Am I right? Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what we
The
got
crew
this-
says
that's
we're
what we
going
got
back
this
to
week.
esports today.
Yes.
Every
I can't
single
believe
ball.
what's going on here. Hitting triangle left and triangle right.
Who is that? That's Sam Angelo.
That's weird.
And
Welcome back.
Here we are.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I know, in sync this time.
Yeah.
Woo!
Not
Not the
Dr.
band.
Dre.
Almost music. That was almost music.
We don't want us to sing, I promise.
All right.
Now we're gonna we had this pull of our products out of Virginia, our edibles for D8, D10, and THCP. With that, we got blessed off to start carrying the new line of hemp-derived Delta 9. So that's what we're going to transition into now is our new line.
Yeah, it was a big decision for us. We had to reweigh what we were doing, what we were thinking, I think.
In 10 days, basically.
In about 10 days.
It did have about 10 days to
To come up
react.
with a
so
whole
that's
product line and packaging and
And everything. Yeah.
name, labeling. Yeah.
Everything.
So Prohibition number 9.
Yeah.
Why would we use the name Prohibition number 9? Well, if you go back to the liquor days, Prohibition was quite a big deal where the government had something in place that didn't allow people with alcohol. I mean, it was sort of a big deal. And the Prohibition eventually changed, and now alcohol is so common. Wow. So many jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to make some really
Oh, no.
untactful,
Oh,
just tasteless jokes that I'm just going to let go. But Prohibition 9 is a very great product. It is too strong for the likes of someone like me at any level. Like I can't hang.
It's the best. Yeah, it was the best. No, totally. Developed though because of all the of
Be-
prohibition.
because of the prohibition that we're having to face in Virginia. So this is our introduction to being able to continue to serve our patrons there in Virginia with an edible line that does have a hemp-derived THC component to it.
And we were trying to mirror the 8 and 10 products that we had available.
Mhm.
So we were very quick to get that out. Along with that, Pittsburgh was the point of where dog walkers came into play, but those are not Delta 9.
Yeah, we have
those are
other new
Delta.
products that we've introduced along with our Prohibition number 9 here.
But the
recently.
Prohibition number 9, very quality product. It went through testing very quickly, third-party test. Everything came back. It was awesome. So then suddenly we were like, all right, well, we've got this great hemp-derived Delta 9. We figured it would be a great opportunity for our Wisconsin customers to be able to get a taste of that.
Yes.
So we're doing a slow rollout to the stores right now. Your Weston store and your Middleton store have them in stock, and then as of today or tomorrow, for purposes for 420, Appleton and Fond du Lac should also be able to sell the new Prohibition number 9 line.
So 4 stores on 420 will have
4 stores on
Prohibition
420.
number 9.
Yes,
So we've got Middleton, Fond du Lac.
Weston. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Middleton, Fond du Lac. I was going up the
Okay.
state. Middleton, Fond du Lac, Appleton, Weston.
Yep.
Okay, so those are the 4 that are rolling out tomorrow.
Slowly rolling out.
Yeah.
We got something to explain. We have to make sure everybody understands the breakdown of the hemp derived.
Have at it.
How the dry weight basis works. Brandon, take it away.
And I'm not the math person, but I will.
I'll math for him. It'll be okay.
She'll work for Nikki will do this for me. So we rolled this out with the understanding of the 0.3% on dry weight basis component to the 2018 Farm Bill. At first, we were questionable about it, but after we got the blessing from the state of Virginia, we decided to move forward with
Might
it.
as well roll
And
with it everywhere else because Wisconsin's
to remain
Going well.
competitive, we want to stick with the times. This is what's happening out there. If you're going to find it, we want you to find it from us. This is the breakdown of how dry weight works, and this is how it's done. And
it's the only legal way to sell Delta 9
Delta 9 THC.
in the state.
And-
So that if you're buying it in a smoke form, you're not buying legal Delta 9.
Correct. This is all edible products that we have currently, because by dry weight basis, this will explain. If you have a 7-gram gummy and you actually multiply that by the 0.3%, but you first have to break that percentage down to a decimal form. When you do that, that 7-gram gummy breaks down to 0.021 grams. You translate that decimal back, you're sitting at about 20 grams of gummy. So if you do that math out, that is how dry weight works. The weight of a single component taken by the 0.3%. You got to break the percentage down first.
A good way to put the example in it is with our Delta 8 and our Delta 10 gummies, they were all the same little squares or oval shapes, and they were all about the same weight. Now with this, a 20 milligram gummy is actually a 7 milligram thing, so it's a lot bigger. So it's double the size of what it used to be able to get to a 20 milligram gummy.
Yep.
Gummy.
So you are limited by that weight unless we do make a giant gummy.
Which is going to take
Giant
you all
gummy.
day to eat. We're not getting any higher than this.
Giant gummy. And so, anyways,
The gummy would be the size of
it'd
this
be
plant.
awesome. It would
Just
be
move
great.
that.
And so that's how that works. We decided that is a move we'd like to make. We said with all the moving pieces, everything, we'll take a little bit stronger stance and work with it.
We'll continue to roll out within the state of Wisconsin as well.
Yes. Prohibition number 9.
I think
And
it's
speaking more to the brand, I guess going on further, the whole prohibition statements on each package, you'll find quotes of what is prohibition, what it's done, and what it hurts. And these are quotes by famous people, and it's all prohibition, not prohibition statements.
in the 1920s, prohibition in the U.S. notoriously failed to tackle alcohol use. That led to lethal forms of liquor entering the black market, fueled organized crime and its associated violence, and wasted public money. Owen Jones.
Owen Jones.
Well, that's really, I think I just ranted about that earlier on.
Bill
about,
just ranted about that.
yeah, the black
Was that one-
market,
is that Drew
organized
Carey?
crime.
No, this one's, I can't pronounce the name, so I wasn't going to read it.
Oh, for every prohibition you create an underground.
It's by
You create an
Jello.
underground. By Jello.
Who
Jello Biafra.
Mhm.
Biafra.
I think we're saying it wrong.
These are good prohibition quotes.
This is what we decided.
They
to
are
do
good
also.
quotes, though. They are great quotes. I think, and nice job, Brandon.
Yeah.
The brand on the packaging,
Nice.
very
Yes,
nice
yes, yes.
job. Brandon had tight timelines on that.
We got
Yes,
it out, though.
we
It's good.
scrambled. We got it
Lots of-
all
lots
product
of
line out
scramble.
though.
Yes.
But all right, well then, if that's it for that line, let's go to an advertisement real quick and then bring back Weedology
With
with
Ash.
Ash.
Ashton.
Hashtag.
Enjoy the break.
Every
I can't
single
believe
ball.
what's going on here. Hitting triangle left and triangle right.
Who is that? That's family as well.
It's weird.
Hey guys, Ashton here back at the dispensary, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a scientific breakdown on edible THC and more specifically the gummies that we have. So in front of me I'm going to have all of the different doses and flavors for the Delta 8 gummies that we carry. Typically this is what most people are coming in here for, just because it's going to give you the more relaxing effect that most people want when they have THC compared to Delta 10, which might give you more energy. So the reason that we like to break down edible THC as opposed to smoking THC is because it's almost an entirely different experience if you're going into the science aspect of it. So if you were to take THC, whether that's a cartridge or some flower, and you smoke it, obviously that's going to go right into your lungs and go right into your bloodstream. So effect is pretty much instantaneous, whereas edibles, it has to go through your whole digestive tract and including going into your liver, where there's a specific enzyme that will potentiate the effects. It turns it into a more potent cannabinoid, and that's why we super stress that you want to start low and go slow when you're working with the edibles. So a lot of times gummies are a little bit easier to dose just because we have them in the smaller dose per gummy, as opposed to our cookies and chocolates, which are 2.5 times the dose for the smaller ones. The reason that the gummies are also really good is because they're going to be a little bit more of a slow